What if I told you that one of the most powerful ideas in all of math has almost nothing to do with complicated equations and everything to do with potential? Today, we're going to talk about the limit. And seriously, forget the textbook for a minute. We're going to make this idea feel simple, totally intuitive, and maybe even a little magical. Let's jump in. I want to start with a really simple but kind of deep question. It's not about what something is right this second. It's about what it's on a path to becoming. Just keep that one question in mind, because it's the key to, well, everything we're about to explore.
And here it is, the answer to that question. The official name for this idea of becoming is a limit. See, it's not about where something is right now, but where it's headed. It is all about the approach.
And this distinction, this is everything. On the left, you've got the now, the current value, the present state. But a limit lives over on the right. It's all about that potential value, that destination. It's the huge difference between being somewhere and heading somewhere.
Okay, so that might sound a little abstract, but where do we actually see this in the real world? Well, let's ground this whole idea in a few simple, everyday examples that, honestly, you already get. Okay, picture this. You're walking towards a wall. You start, say, 5 steps away. Then you take a few more steps. You're 2 steps away. Then 1. Pretty soon, you're just a tiny fraction of a step away. With every single move, you're getting closer and closer, closing that gap.
And here's the key part. The wall is your limit. It's the destination you are approaching. And what's so important is that it's the limit whether you ever actually get there and touch it or not. The whole point is the process of getting closer. That's what defines it.
Or hey, think about a hot cup of tea you just made. It starts off boiling hot, right? But over time, it just gradually cools down, getting closer and closer to the temperature of the room around it. It doesn't suddenly jump there. It's this slow, continuous approach. That room temperature, that's the limit.
All right, so we've got the gut feeling for it. We see it in the world. Now let's just peek at how mathematics takes this powerful idea and gives it a really precise language.
So in calculus, this is the textbook definition, but look how simple it really is when you read it. It's just asking what number a function, or you can think of it as any process, is heading toward. It's the exact same idea as you walking to the wall or the tea cooling down.
And this is where the idea just gets so powerful. Because even if a function is messy, like maybe it has a weird hole or a gap where it's not even defined at one exact spot, we can still ask this question. We don't really care about that one messy point. We care about the trend. What is it trying to do? What value is it getting closer and closer to from either side?
And now for my favorite part, the big reveal. This idea is so much bigger than a calculus class. Let's see how this one concept, this power of approaching, shows up in some really unexpected and fascinating places.
First up, artificial intelligence. I know, you might not connect limits in AI right away, but the connection is actually incredibly deep. It's all about how these machines learn.
See, an AI doesn't just wake up being smart. It learns step by step. It'll try something, make a mistake, then it adjusts its own strategy just a tiny bit, and then it tries again. And each cycle, it gets a little bit better, making just a few fewer mistakes. It's this gradual process of getting it right.
So, that ideal state, that perfect behavior, or that 100% accuracy that the AI is trying to get to, that's its limit. The entire training process is just the machine trying to get closer and closer and closer to that limit, one tiny adjustment at a time.
Okay, let's bring it back to us, to humans. How does this apply to the way our own minds work? Well, it turns out, human change and growth, they operate on the very same principle.
I mean, think about personal growth, right? You don't just wake up one morning and you're a super confident person. You don't instantly heal from something that hurt you. No, it's a messy process. You improve a little bit, maybe you slip back, but then you improve again, always kind of moving toward a better version of yourself.
That vision you have of a healthier or more skilled or happier version of you, that's a limit. It is the destination you are continuously moving toward, even if the path isn't a perfect straight line. It's about progress, not perfection.
And finally, what about the biggest questions we can ask? For centuries, philosophers have wrestled with these huge concepts like truth and justice, and it turns out the idea of a limit is right there at the heart of their thinking.
Think about a concept like truth with a capital T. A lot of philosophers would argue that this isn't something we can ever fully arrive at or possess. Instead, they say it's a limit. Through science and talking to each other and just through experience, we get closer and closer to understanding it. But we never get to say, okay, we're done, we have the final answer.
So after seeing this idea pop up in math, in AI, and psychology, and even philosophy, what's the one core message here? What's the real power of this idea of approaching something?
I think it all comes down to this. A limit is about the journey. It's about the process. It's about the direction. It's a dynamic idea focused entirely on becoming, not on the static state of just being. And when you really boil it down, limits are the language we use to talk about all the things we value most, aren't they? Things like learning and growth and understanding and improvement. Math didn't invent these ideas. It just gave us a beautiful, precise way to talk about them.
And maybe this is the most empowering part of it all. The whole concept of a limit gives us permission to be imperfect. It tells us that the direction you're headed, that's more important than where you are standing right now. You don't have to be there yet. You just have to be moving closer.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In your work, in your relationships, in your own personal growth, what's the wall you're walking towards? What's the room temperature your tea is cooling to? In other words, what limit are you approaching?